So the myth is shark skin as rough as sandpaper?
Or in fact, also, can it be used as sandpaper?
Well, what are we going to do about that? We need to get some shark skin.
It's illegal to sell shark skin in San Francisco, so Adam and Carrie are off up the coast. Bodega Bay is 90 minutes drive north of San Fran.
I'm trying to get the sea lions to talk to me now.
Anthony here has a license to fillet. This skin was once attached to a 5-foot thresher shark.
My guess is if shark skin had an equivalent sandpaper grit, it would probably be like a 300 grit. It would be something fairly fine.
Now, it's claimed that ancient fishing cultures around the world used shark skin as sandpaper. Makes sense. After all, who wants to paddle a canoe full of splinters? Apparently, they cured the shark skin by soaking it in urine. Question is, which team member will provide the all-important ingredient?
If we have to soak shark skin in pee for a day and then I have to handle it, I have to have my own. There's no way I'm gonna have Adam peeing into a cup. I think I drink more water, I take more vitamins, and I'm a vegetarian. It's gonna stink a little less.
Shark skin is made up of tiny tooth-like scales called denticles. These all point towards the tail and help reduce the friction between shark and water. Less friction means less drag. The spiky nature of the denticles also makes it impossible for marine growth like algae to take hold. And that's got the U.S. Navy interested. It's using shark skin as the inspiration for a new anti-fouling paint for ships. The plastic and rubber coating contains billions of tiny diamond-shaped denticles, which stop algae latching on. In lab tests, the paint reduced algae by 85%. Back at base, Carrie downs a bladder-bursting cocktail of coffee and water.
You know, I'm really glad after doing like poppy seed bagel and peeing on the third rail and salsa escape that somebody else is finally donating some bodily fluids to the Mythbusters mission. Actually, urine is relatively clean stuff. I know it smells bad, and you don't want to drink it, but there's actually evidence that like peeing in the shower is good for like fungi on your feet.
Sounds like a myth for another time, Adam.
Keep that a secret that you pee on yourself in the shower.
Oh, who doesn't pee in the shower?
So humiliating.
Carrie passes water.
Oh, that smells yucky on the fish.
Hey, Jamie!
And Adam passes it around the office.
That's Carrie's urine?
That's Carrie's urine. She just popped that out in one shot.
Well, those vegetarians are healthy.
The Mythbusters are trying to turn shark skin into sandpaper. Carrie's working on a recipe handed down by countless generations of islanders. Marinate the shark skin in urine, making sure it is completely covered. Leave to stand overnight.
Oh.
The urine dissolves fatty tissue, making it easier to separate skin and flesh. Then drain, wash with antibacterial soap, and scrape off excess meat, making sure to gag regularly. Then just pin to cardboard, which soaks up excess moisture, and leave to dry.
These two pieces of shark skin were drying out for a few days and became sort of rawhide, jerky shark skin. These are what I think we're gonna first give Jamie and Adam to use on the orbital sander. But I have to make it a lot thinner, so I have to pumice out the backside of the skin. Another lovely, nasty job.
Well, let's have a look at it.
I also have some sandpaper over here so you can compare it and see what kind of grain you've got.
Well, it definitely has a granular look to it. You can see some kind of scale-like structure.
Jamie studies the shark skin through a microscope, and the regimented rows of denticles give him an idea.
The shark skin seems to behave more like a file than sandpaper. It's
Right,
much
it's
more
directional.
So maybe we should treat it like a file when we're using it. You know, sandpaper is so, it doesn't care which direction you push it. So I think if we were to try and test this the way we use sandpaper, we would find it probably doesn't do anything.
Time for a sandpaper scrape-off.
So this is a pristine piece of plexiglass. We should be able to see quite clearly how the sandpaper does against the shark skin when we give it a little rub down.
5 different sandpaper grits are used, 1 stroke each.
Okay, well, they all obviously scratched the plexiglass.
Now carry shark skin. Will it have any effect? And if so, which grit will it be like? Does shark skin work as sandpaper? The Mythbusters are seeing how it stacks up against regular sandpaper grits.
Huh. I don't see anything.
Well, there is something there, but it's not very much.
So much for Jamie's file theory. Adam tries a more traditional sandpapering style.
Actually, even though it has a grain, it seems to sand in every direction.
In fact, it sands better using it that way than what I would have guessed.
The closest equivalent is the 6 or 400.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Next test, a steel blade. Jamie's knife is about as sharp as an accountant's cardigan.
That knife is pretty dull.
That's somewhat dull.
Can the shark skin restore its bite?
Well, I think that's actually quite clearly just a little bit sharper. It's from moderately dull to moderately less dull. It's not a huge difference, but he was able to sharpen a knife, so the shark skin can actually affect steel a little bit.
The final test is good old-fashioned wood. First, by hand.
Oh, yeah, you can feel the difference.
Wow,
That did work.
that's really nice.
Then, and this could
Yeah,
well
this
be
is
a
definitely-
world first,
That's shark skin?
a shark skin orbital sander.
What do you think?
I think it works beautifully.
Really?
Yeah, feel this.
All right, well, what do you guys think? Busted, plausible, or confirmed? Shark paper as an abrasive.
I say confirmed.
I mean, it's about a 600.